How much fun was it to play Rosette's mom?
Or what was the favorite part of doing Lust?
What was my favorite part of doing Lust? Having large boobs for a short amount of time. It's pretty great. Did you have a question? Is it you?
Yes.
Yes.
I was wondering if you're looking forward to reprising your role as Lutz for the new series.
Yes. And she's got a bigger part in the upcoming one, doesn't she?
Well, she's in the first episode.
She's in the first episode, darn it. And up until, you know, I'm sure that's true, she was. I'm sure Travis will get a kick out of the fact that he kills me eventually.
You never know.
I don't want to die.
It could be that she doesn't die in this series.
That's true, maybe. Because I was very sad about that she didn't make it to the end of the series. You know? I wanted a bigger part.
Well, partly because
it's an awesome show, you know?
Partly because of Lucy's character.
Darn that. Anybody? Yes, you.
Can you say something in Lust and something in Toru?
Can I say something as Lust and something as Toru?
Hold on.
Oh, you're busting out the camera. Well, you better hurry, because I'm going. Here it comes. I don't know what I'm going to say. I'm going to say something.
Okay, go.
It feels so good to be so sexy. Let's see, Toru. What is her line?
Hello, I'm Toru Honda. I haven't always lived in a tent. Up until last May, I lived with my mom. It was just the two of us. But then the accident. After I lost Mom, I began secretly living here on my own. It isn't the most comfortable place, but it's all right. And it's what I have to do.
I don't know how I remember that. I had to do that line over and over again for reference.
Yeah. First of all, my brother was only here if he would tell you that you were awesome as Chun-Li.
Oh, thank you.
I'm leaving career right now, so I can't tell you. And second, I would ask you to do the honor line, but obviously, since we're here, I was going to ask, since you're working in, I guess, LA, where they're doing Naruto, is it more difficult to have to travel back and forth?
It can be hard to fly back and forth, yeah, because I'm living in California now, but I still go back to Texas to do my roles at Funimation. And it's gotten less in the past few months, just because a lot of the shows that I've been working on are wrapping up and everything. So it hasn't been as hard, but it can be difficult if they need just, a couple hours of recording, but it's got a deadline and they need it, and I have to fly back for, a very, very little amount of recording. That can be difficult.
Which Chun-Li do you...
Oh, in Street Fighter 4, that just came out, I play Chun-Li.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know.
Spinning fire kick!
Only in 4, you didn't play it in 2.
Only in 4. Only in 4. It was the first Street Fighter game that had the English voices, which I thought was pretty cool. Yes.
Back to Fruits Basket.
Yes.
Kyo or Yuki?
Kyo or Yuki?
I choose you, Kyo.
He's cute.
Yes.
Do you usually know the entire series front to back before you record, or does it become confusing sometimes because it's out of sequence and you don't know the whole story?
It can be difficult. A lot of times, it just depends on how much pre-production time you have and how in advance you get cast on the show, With Kodacha, for instance, Colleen, who was my roommate, Colleen Klinkenbeard, at the time, she knew she was going to be directing it. It wasn't cast yet, but she knew she was directing it, and so she watched the whole show. Marathon watched it in Japanese, and being her roommate, I watched it with her, and it was awesome, and I totally loved it, and I think that definitely, helped me out in the audition process because I knew where Sana was going.
Do you ever make use of fan subs?
Do I ever make use of it? Yeah, I have. I don't think I'm supposed to, but I have.
Don't let Greg Ayers know.
Yeah, don't tell. Yes.
So some of the other voice actors, they've said that, they get all the anime that they do, but they've never really watched them. Do you watch them?
You don't get a chance to. It really sucks because, you you have a very busy recording schedule, and a lot of times, by the time you get the series that you just worked on, you're already working on a new one. You've got to kind of focus all your attention on that. Or sometimes, you know, you're doing like 5 series at the same time, and you don't have time to go and watch another one. But it totally blows, because, you know, Travis was making fun of me earlier, because the only show I've watched front to back after I recorded it was Gunslinger Girl, which is 13 episodes. And I directed it, so I sort of I had to.
What other ones have you directed?
Huh?
What other ones have you directed?
I directed, what else did I direct? I directed a lot of Kodacha, probably most of Kodacha. I directed some of Kate's Clothes. I directed some of the Blue Gender movie. It was a piece of...
The warrior! Yeah!
I don't know, other stuff. Other stuff, I can't remember now. Yes?
What was it like to work on Naruto?
It's awesome! Mary Elizabeth McGlynn is like the coolest lady ever, and she directs it. And yeah, it's totally killer. And when originally I was cast, you know, to voice match the woman who had played Anko, because she was unavailable, they couldn't get a hold of her. And so I came in and matched her for a series of episodes, and then I've gotten to go back and do some other characters that I don't think I'm allowed to talk about, unfortunately, but I'm excited about. So, yes?
Have you ever done the young voice of Anko?
Have I done the young voice of Anko?
Yeah.
Yeah. In the series that I did where I played young Anko and older Anko, like, back to back, so that's cool. Yes, Boxer.
You normally play female voices, right? So how was it to play Shin?
To play Shin is such a weird voice, isn't it? I mean, he sounds like he's supposed to be 5, but he sounds like this, and that doesn't sound like any 5-year-old I know. It's very strange. You know, it sounds like he's constantly got to take a giant dump. You know? Does he sound like that? That's great. We describe it as having a potato in your throat. It sounds like, it feels like you got a potato in your throat, because whenever you do the voice, you gotta open the back of your throat up so much. It's very strange. What?
Is that the Japanese character voice does it also?
Yeah, that's actually, when I got the part, the audition process, they wanted a voice match for the original characters on Shin and the mom and the dad. They wanted something very similar. And so when we auditioned for it, we had no idea what the show was. The animation looks very strange if you're not used to it. And I was trying to match this sound, but I don't understand. I don't know Japanese very well, and so I couldn't understand what she was saying as Shin, and it was the weirdest, like, up and down inflection in this really strange quality, and I thought I totally blew the audition. I did it, and I just sounded horrible, and there was no way I was going to get cast. And then, you know, a few weeks down the line, they're like, "You got it." That's crazy. Yes.
Okay,
Oh, standing up, why thank you.
Fullmetal Alchemist 2 just came out in Japan. When that comes around, I think you're gonna voice that.
What just came out?
Fullmetal Alchemist 2.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
A plus.
Is it? I know somebody said that you guys get the DVDs when they're released. Do you get advance copies, or do you?
Do we get them when they come out?
Yeah.
It depends on when we go into the studio. No, sometimes the studio has it before, like a couple days before it comes out, or sometimes I'll go in like a month after it's come out and it's waiting for me, you know?
Oh, but
so.
you do get copies.
Most of the time. It depends on the studio, but usually Funimation is pretty good about at least giving the leads in the show, or people that have like major characters, they give those.